Civil defense officials in Cumberland have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured.
Sometimes that is better.
Afraid of the dark?
No, afraid of what's in the dark.
Oh, he got me, Charlie. He bit me.
Deputies report that in some instances, only parts of a corpse had been removed.
Looks like they lost him.
That's impossible.
Same as he did last time.
Well, they think it's a scarecrow.
This is the Horror Drunks podcast, and this is a special episode because we can't do one this weekend, so...
Because Ken's going to...
Portlandia.
Oregon or something?
Yep.
He's going to take the Oregon Trail.
For no reason
He's going to get dysentery 4 times and get bitten by a snake.
For no reason
His oxen's going to die.
I don't know why I don't have a purpose to go there.
Because, I don't know.
Decided I wanted to go, so
yeah,
I'm going.
Why not? That's cool.
But alone, though, is different. It's kind of sad.
No, man, that's awesome. Independent.
Oh,
You're a strong, independent woman, and you don't need no man.
I've proven that to myself. I don't need to go find myself and realize I can do this alone.
Exactly.
I'm going alone because I don't have anyone to go with. I've asked people, and they're like,
Right.
"Yeah, it sounds expensive."
Yeah, well, most people can't just afford to take an impromptu trip to the West Coast.
Well, because they have kids. All those people can't do that.
Gross.
Unless they're
That's a dumb thing to do.
In some highfalutin corporation, and it's whatever.
Cease procreation.
That's too loud. You ain't gotta get that close. The red went off and everything.
We should just be Generation Omega.
Yep. So we decided to do... I just found out about this movie this year, but then I found out there's a huge following.
You didn't know about this movie before this year?
Not at all. I've seen the name, but I didn't know it was like something to watch. Like I thought it was just like a cheesy fucking...
I will admit that I didn't know about it until its DVD and Blu-ray release, but like that was kind of a big deal when that happened. And then it made it into a lot of the like magazines, and it might be in...
Like before the Blu-ray? Before the Blu-ray?
No. Upon its release, it made it into, like, there were full-page ads and everything, and I think it made its way into DVD Delirium, maybe. I don't know. But
I guess the big deal about it was a TV movie in 81, and it was probably the last of its kind that was good. Didn't you say Bad Ronald was...
That's like late 70s, I think.
But it was still on TV. And
Yeah. Bad Ronald's a really good TV movie. For those of you who don't know, it's about a fucked up little kid who like lives in this girl's house, and they don't know that he's living in there. It's kind of like the Hider in the House movie with Gary Busey, sort of.
Yeah, or that movie that we reviewed that you loved, the remake of.
Toolbox Murders?
Yeah.
It's bad.
Come on, Tobe.
I'm afraid to wipe my face with the sleeves of this.
Is that the segue into what you want to talk about?
No, I'll just leave it alone.
No. Rand, it's kind of chilly out. Yeah, I was totally against telling this story, but Randy needed something to wear, and I handed him
a hoodie.
A hoodie that I haven't worn in a long time.
A zip-up hoodie, because I knew that a pullover wouldn't fit me, because I'm much more portly than Ken here. So
partly in my own right, though.
Yeah, a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
But he hands me this zip-up hoodie, and I look at it, and there's like a huge stain on the right forearm, on the top of the right forearm, and it's like, is this jizz? And it's immediately, no.
Well, I was embarrassed.
I was very insistent that it was, because I know what smeared dried cum looks like. I'm a dude. I mean, everybody, that's, yeah.
Well, you walked around with it, and you even had to show Mike.
Yeah, I had to.
Once it was confirmed through Mike,
Yeah.
because Mike's old. He's seen a lot of cum.
Yeah,
he's 41 years old. So,
and a grandpa.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason why I denied it because it was embarrassing to me. As silly as that sounds, I was embarrassed that my cum was on your arm, kind of. But that's like a thing. When I had a girlfriend, we didn't use towels, and this is a lot of information going out that no one wants to hear. Anyways, but
it was a funny story, and now it's just like getting weird. So
yeah, because we're festering on it.
Let's talk about
It's
the movie
lingering.
instead.
All right, so Dark Knight of the Scarecrow is
it's part of a bygone era when there were cool made-for-TV horror films like Mr. Boogedy and Salem's Lot and shit like that, and that's just, I don't know. Maybe it happens now, but I haven't had TV in like a decade, so I have no fucking idea.
Not like that. It's more TV shows that have violence and stuff like that. Or
yeah, I mean
after the fact. It's touching on like really disgusting events, like in the cop shows. Like
that might have been like one of the last of its kind, but even after that, like Mick Garris and douchebags like that insisted on doing horrible Hackney fucking.
Are you talking about the
made for TV? No, I was going to talk about like the Stephen King miniseries.
Oh yeah,
like it seemed like every year or two, without fail, there would be a terrible one, like Tommyknockers or Langoliers or It or
after It though.
That was like the. Well, I mean, Salem's Lot kicked the door open on the Stephen King TV miniseries.
Yeah, but then there's a gap.
There was a pretty sizable gap until It, I think, may have been the next one.
Yeah.
But after that, it was like...
Then it was
just an avalanche of shit. That continued for a while because they even did like that reboot of Salem's Lot with Rob Lowe and fucking The Shining, or not The Shining. Well, yeah, they did The Shining with the dude from Wings.
Yeah, that was because Stephen King wanted an adaptation that was true.
Yeah,
to the book.
it's an asshole.
Didn't he have like he was like a on set type of dude? Wasn't he like a? He wasn't the director
with the
obviously.
TV miniseries.
Yeah, wasn't he like?
He may have been involved as a consultant or something.
Yeah,
a creative consultant. I don't know.
Because last time he wasn't.
He's an idiot for not thinking that Kubrick's adaptation is amazing.
I know,
and for like Kubrick's ending is better.
Couldn't he just look at the movie like for what it is and just be like, this is actually a good movie? No, he's upset about it. I don't get it. There's been a lot of shit adaptations of Stephen King.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even just on film. There's like a musical version of Carrie now.
But he's never vocal about that stuff the way he was The Shining. No, maybe it was because he was like, The Shining was so huge, and maybe he was vocal about like Night Flyer or something like that. That wasn't.
I've never known him to ever have anything else to say about anything, really. Honestly, I'm not sure what the deal with The Shining was, but
maybe he just didn't like Kubrick as a dude after he met him.
That could be. Who
knows?
Entirely possible.
But also, this is before a PC, politically correct Reagan era, censorship era. Like after this, there really wasn't anything like this because of that. That's what I'm guessing.
Probably there was, a much more hardline attempt to quote unquote bring like moral fiber, moral values back to the fiber of America or whatever.
Yeah,
blah blah blah.
This has like pedophilia in it.
Yeah, there's like a little pedophilia subplot,
and like there's a lot of PSAs about just like stranger danger back in this era, and we were talking about that. We were watching the movies, like they were just like naive, closeted society. That's what we were. And then
blue collar, white fences. Nobody thought about people like Albert Fish, and
then it started happening in the 70s, and then all of a sudden on TV, there's always something to do with strangers, and watch out. Like now they don't do that because we all know about them now. Like we know that humans are fucked up now.
Yeah, but even to this day, we still have Law and Order SVU. I mean, that's like kind of a
yeah, but it's not like a PSA thing. It's entertainment now.
To a degree, but it's still, there's some episodes of that are still like, you know, like don't let your fucking, don't be stupid about your kids, stupid. There's bad things will happen.
Oh, is that the David Caruso end act where he looks at the camera and tells people that?
He was on a different one. That's the one I'm talking about is the one with Christopher Maloney and Mariska Hargitay.
Yeah, but they're all spin-offs of that.
They're all spin-offs of Law and Order.
Yeah. Well,
of the original Law and Order.
Well, original Law and Order was mostly...
It was like a courtroom drama.
Yeah, but this is actually out on the fucking scene.
In the streets. Kids getting diddled. Women getting traded on the black market. That's what the show is about.
I know, but if they advertise it like that, I don't think anyone would watch.
I think more people would probably watch it.
Oh yeah, the creepy guys would definitely be like, did you say that? Like, oh, I'm definitely watching tonight's episode. Kids diddled?
We haven't managed to talk about the actual movie yet at all, really.
No, I mean, this is... Well, I kind of want to explain what's up with TV back then, and I wouldn't talk about any of this if it wasn't a TV movie.
Right.
But the movie is pretty much... Well, not pretty much. It's based around Bubba, who's a slow retard like Ernest. But he doesn't have the, you know, the sexual drive of Ernest around kids.
I don't know why you keep maintaining that Ernest P. Worrell had an affinity for children.
Because he only hung out with children in everything that he did.
But he wasn't... he was just Bubba. He was just a kid.
No, I'm talking about Ernest is the bad guy.
Yeah, I know.
Bubba's the good guy.
Ernest isn't a bad guy.
This is the guy I would trust around my kid, not Ernest. Even though I wouldn't trust him to, like, babysit because he's very retarded. He's, like, severely retarded.
Incredibly, yeah.
Yeah, he's not the Ernest retard. That's why Ernest is putting on an act.
Ernest is a high-functioning retarded person.
No, he puts on an act so he can hang around kids.
You're not going to sell me on this.
I just don't get the...
So the opening scene, Bubba's playing with the little girl in the field, a la...
Frankenstein.
James Whale's Frankenstein with Karloff and the little girl, except it ends the same way as that to a degree, except, you know, Bubba didn't do it.
No, Bubba didn't do it.
Bubba didn't do it. They, you know, they go to some lady's backyard to look at her, like, lawn.
And gnomes and all
gnomes that. And, like, landscaping shit. And her dog fucking man's best friend's the little
totally,
girl.
Anti-Sandlot dog.
Cujo.
Yeah, it was a really bad dog.
Remember that movie, Man's Best Friend?
Yeah.
With Lance Henriksen?
Yeah.
What a pile of shit.
Yeah, it was. Before that, when they're playing in the field, before they venture off, you see the postman with his binoculars looking in and kind of concerned maybe that Bubba's going to do something to the little girl.
See, initially that's what you're led to believe, but later on you come to find that there is a much more sinister motive behind him leering at them with his binoculars.
Yeah. It changes the entire movie for me, which doesn't negate it or like positive points, but it takes it down a different path.
Yeah, it's definitely a dark night of the Scarecrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know, naturally the idiot redneck townsfolk like get a little lynch mob together to go after Bubba after he brings the girl back to her mother.
Bubba didn't do it. He runs home to Mama, and Mama says that he should play the hiding game. So he does. Plays the hiding game because they can hear the dogs coming up, chasing him.
They got the bloodhounds out.
Mm-hmm. That's a good impression, I guess, for what it is.
You're what it is.
If you can hear a lot of background noise, it's windy out. It's the election day, and it's shitty out, and you know that if you're from
It's because it's election day.
Yeah, this is like a dark cloud on society, our nation.
Dark night of the soul.
It is a great metaphor.
Good choice for films, Ken. So they corner Bubba at his property, and he's like disguised himself as a scarecrow to hide from them, but they quickly realize that because they are not retarded.
Some of them are.
Yeah, one of them is, which is, you know, one of the ironic subplots of the film.
But yeah, because these guys can't think for themselves, and if anything happens in town, they have to run and tell this guy because he's obviously anointed himself the leader.
I don't even know why he's a big deal. He lives in a boarding house. Like, he's a single weirdo living in a boarding house.
I mean, because he was so for the whole act,
right?
And when they go through with it, like, it's on him now. Like, they're just along for the ride.
So they shoot him to death. Like, I think he said they had 21 bullet holes in him or something. Yeah. 21